cross section of people, and with the right messages, there can be a dent in the crime statistics. All right. So
where do we go? So how do you feel about that request there from the new commissioner of police acting? So he's basically asking the media to come on board with the aims or to help to achieve the objectives of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm on the fence with this one for a number of reasons. I don't know if you want to go first, Ari.
no, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Now, while it is all, I wish you could call name. That would have been spicy. Wait. I should say which media houses you really want assistance from, because there are. Okay, so let me speak generally. Generally, the police will get a licking from the media, and sometimes they deserve the licking. But in instances where they don't deserve the licking, I think the scale is tipped towards destructive criticism more than constructive criticism. You could pull up somebody and not ridicule or pull them down or make people be against them. So the influence that media has is really important, which I like that he acknowledged. I also agree with him when he says, I don't think that some people realize the damage that they're doing. However, the media has a role to play within society. We are supposed to keep people, organizations, and the government accountable for their actions. This is one arm of accountability. It's not just the opposition. So, in instances where you do not act right, this is where we come in and try to shape or pull up your socks. Some of your socks are real high, but pull them up even further. So, if you act right more, because there are some people who don't behave themselves, then they will have less to pull up, if you understand what I'm saying. And you cannot sit down and ask, because I think that's something that's out of your control, to ask the media to try to change the narrative of their discussions, whether it's radio, social media, print, to change the narrative because they have a responsibility to play. That perhaps is asking maybe a bit much, even though it's not a wrong ask. For me, I don't think that they're going to respond positively unless they're forced to do so.
I would say this. I know a lot of people believe that Ari is anti-police. Ari don't really like
this
the
is news
police.
to me. Thank you.
I know, it's so surprising. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought?
But that is not the case. My issue is that a lot of these police officers do not know the law in which they're trying to enforce, and that is a huge problem. Now, I can speak from the position of a journalist because I've been in the shoes. I've been a court reporter. I've reported on murders. I've reported on a lot of stuff. And generally speaking, there are a lot of, I think the best word to describe them is ignorant police officers. There are a lot of officers that don't know what they're doing. They were just given a badge and they're deciding to enforce the law how they see fit. In the same breath, there are a lot of capable police officers that know the law, that know the job that they're doing, that assist civilians, protect civilians, and do what they're supposed to do. This, what the commissioner is asking, it really needs to go both ways, because then there's also situations where the media would reach out to the police, and naturally you can't comment on ongoing cases. You can't, there's a lot of stuff you can do, but stuff that they can do, they choose to keep to themselves. The former commissioner of police, I am so sorry, the commissioner's name is slipping. Is it Charles? Before Colin John.
I'm not sure who was before Colin John, but there was a Charles before.
Yes, he had an open door policy
before.
Yes, the dark skinned guy, bald head. He had a terrific relationship with the media. He had an open door policy. If you had questions, he answered your questions as long as he's able to answer the questions. I hope that this is the goal of the new commissioner, Mr. Williams, there, because we have a call. All right,
Thanks.
good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning. In regarding to the topic you guys have regarding Miss Ford, I don't think she owe anybody an apology. I think some of the other contestants owe her an apology. You guys should interview the other contestants and interview her, talk to her with something. When you've been bullied for different things, you find sometimes things like this. And Crystal, you should know
Mm-hmm.
when you end up being something that like crowned, like how she was crowned with SVG, she
Mm-hmm.
find a voice, she find some strength in a way how to respond to what was being done to her over the previous weeks, months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You have to be able to don't just say you need an apology. Talk to her, get to know what the background why this come to this place. You go by what she said. I'm now the crown. I'm now Miss SVG. Listen to her talent. Listen to what she said other times, even when she won the crown. Listen to her. This young lady was in pain. This
Caller,
young lady was in anguish
caller.
during this time.
I'm
Okay.
assuming that you're
So
listening to
instead of
the.
everybody jump and say she need to apologize, she don't owe anybody. Everybody a human,
Yeah,
and
that is true.
everybody after getting some power,
That is
getting
true.
something that recognize that she is somebody.
Okay.
Everybody jumping on this bandwagon. She should resign. She should apologize. She should be crown should be removed.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
All right, thank
instead of
you.
everybody jumping on her, listen to
Mm-hmm.
her, ask
Mm-hmm.
her.
Okay.
Thank you, caller.
All right. I understood.
No, I was trying to ask on air, but she was strong in a point, and people are when they're strong in their opinion. If you are listening to the program, we did say that she is deserving, that she has worked for her crown, and she deserves to be in the position that she is in now. The problem is that now you're in this position, you represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether or not you're being bullied, whether or not you're having a rough time, we do appreciate that you are human and you're capable of mistakes, which is why we're advocating for that we give her some grace. We would never say that her crown should be taken away, but an apology is necessary because you hold a prestigious title, and the way that you acted by tweeting this is unbecoming. And the organizers, Avia, etc., CDC, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there should be a statement issued with an apology. Now, if Miss Foy wants to come to the studio and we interview her and she's able to express herself clearly, that is also fine. There's always three sides to a story. And we welcome her to come and discuss her side. But given the situation, you are now in a position where you hold a prestigious award. You need to issue an apology for behaviors that are uncoming of this award.
um everybody has everybody goes through trials
Mm-hmm.
and tribulations in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come out, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think this calls for an apology, simply because it will show a high level of respect for the people and their title. It will show a high level of accountability that some people who have more than Arena Foy has don't even exercise. I think she will garner a bit more respect from people, by going about that route. And it is a humble thing to do. And it shows that you are the bigger person and you understand the role that you play. Now, in a way, I don't want to feel like the comments were being directed to us because, as you said, we were not calling for her to be stripped of the crown. I think that's a bit much, but I think it's just a general statement to
Mm-hmm.
people out there because quite a number of people, as far as over 500 people are asking for a crown to be taken away, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I would I would think that the best thing to do is just to offer a little apology because, gotta
Yeah.
understand what you're working with here. Now, as she mentioned that too, I think Arena or anybody else for that matter, if there's something that garners a negative response in you, you would need to sit down and ascertain why that triggered a certain response in you. Why did that bother you that much?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when you figure that out, maybe you'll be able to figure out some other things about yourself. And all of that is part of your growth and maturity. And like I said before, I wish you all the best. So try to figure out why you got upset in the first place. What about it was upsetting you? Maybe
Yeah.
you're not quite over some of the things that you went through during your childhood or teenage or even early adulthood. You're still an adult, early adult.
And you have a platform to talk about it and advocate for it. No.
Be smart.
Yeah. But the column me lose my train of thought there a bit, you know. But
Back to the police.
before I forget, he mentioned that the relationship between the police and the media should go beyond press releases. And he had a conversation and we have a collaborative work as to how we can move forward.
Mhm.
I'm glad that he added that because the relationship with not WFM per se, because we have cop chat, we have programs where we could interact with the police. We have
And
traffic
Cop Chat
talk.
was initiated by WEFM.
We have traffic talk. We have programs where the police are involved. But outside of WFM, it's a press release relationship with the press. It's you releases police statement type press release. That's how I describe it because all police press releases sound like a police report that you're presenting to the court. And that is the relationship. Or you invite us to a press conference, that's it. There
Which
is
press con?
rarely not press conferences when they have any sort of thing that they want not press conference.
Press conferences are few and far between from the police. But anyways, let's go.
When they have stuff that need media attention, like when they have the RSSS, the Caribbean
Big events.
Task Force, yeah, the big events that they have, they would ask the media to cover it. But that's kind of where the relationship ends. When they're being ridiculed, there is no comment. So it really needs to be something that goes both ways.
I think as you said, they need to put a little bit more emphasis on the relationship between the
Yes.
media and the RSVGPF because you cannot depend on the media houses to be responsible, although they should be. You can't depend on them because it's not by law that they have to say certain things or toe along a certain line. That's not freedom. To be honest and fair, so there are two types of radio stations, most prevalent here. You have the urban and your community radio stations. The community, they have one agenda, the urban, a different one.
Mhm.
You can go and tell an urban radio station, realistically speaking, that you want to do certain things without passing up some money.
Which is also fair.
Right. So whatever initiative that you come up with, you have to be ready to spend some money on all radio stations or platforms. Part of it, you gotta pay for something because they're there to make money. And it's a democracy and you can't stop them. So if they don't want to give you airtime, I cannot fault them for wanting to keep their business afloat.
And that's just radio. There's still print and there's still new media. But it has to go both ways. I'm pretty sure the media would welcome a relationship with the police, and a relationship with the police could only be productive.
But I would really appeal to the media houses. Oh gosh, be a little bit more responsible than that, man.
Yeah. Thanks. The time is now 9 a.m. It's time for your ECCB currency exchange rate, sponsored by Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Brick by brick, piece by piece.